And I'm Douglas, and we're talking about Claim to Fame, Episode 3.
Claim to Fame, Episode 3, that's right.
Yeah.
But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Join us. Welcome. Hello, hello. Episode 3 starts with some Danny, Adam, and Naomi just being like, this game is hard. We're not getting this.
And I know it's only Episode 3, but they had a double elimination last week. So we're 3 people deep without a correct guess.
Right, and a bunch of people like thinking, oh, it's this way, and then it's not. Plus Miguel just like killed it in that Episode 2, stumping them. And we get a little bit more about the wolf pack, Miguel and Diedrich.
Yeah, which, I mean, I guess you only need 2 for a wolf pack. How many do you think are, what's a minimum for you?
Well, I mean, a minimum 2. You got to have 2.
For a pack?
I mean, you would think more for a pack, right? Yeah. I think he's hoping to grow the pack.
Well, we'll
it's not going to work out for him.
No, it might. We'll see.
At this point, maybe. We see Diedrich and Danny talk.
And there's going to be spoilers. We need to say that out loud.
There's no spoilers yet.
I know, but we're going to have.
Yeah, when we get to any potential spoilers, we should say something.
So Danny starts giving us the actual insights about. Danny gets a lot of coverage in this episode for talking about how the house is working, how people.
Yeah, Danny is heavy in this edit. Yeah. We're getting more about Danny.
Yeah.
I like it. No complaints.
Yeah,
he seems like a fun guy.
Yeah, it's kind of what it did for me this episode was it kind of set up this dynamic between that Danny was an intelligent person who was tracking what was going on, who understood the vibe of the house, who understood this was going that way, and was making decisions about when to dole out little pieces of information, and of course he becomes heavy in the edit for a reason, but
he's going to have an okay episode here.
Yeah, but it also kind of elevated him in my mind, not to maybe a Naomi level, but it definitely brought him up of like, this guy's really paying attention and playing the game.
Well, now I wrote a conversation down here about Diedrich and Danny talking like family stories, but now I can't remember. Oh, wait, Diedrich was saying...
Yeah, they're sitting out in the lounge. And they just both say way too much.
Well, if it's true, but does it really help you? Just because you say my person is so famous that they took me to a big
toy store. They opened up the toy store just for them.
And we could have whatever we want. That's when I knew we were different. But, like, that doesn't give anything away, does it really?
No, but just the way that he talks so... He doesn't look like he's...
Who, Diedrich?
Diedrich. He doesn't look like he's calculating
while he's thinking.
That's
because he fumbled already.
Yeah, and maybe... Yeah.
He might have made a mistake. Looks like he did make a mistake.
He 100% made a mistake.
We were like giving him the benefit of the doubt of like, was it a setup? He's not really a Jackson.
Yeah.
I think he might be a Jackson, guys.
He's 100% Jackson.
Diedrich has a whole little bit here because Adam is like calling him Little Richard.
Yeah.
And he makes a big to-do about like, how dare you? I don't look anything like Little Richard.
And I was trying to, what were you clocking from that?
Well, I mean, I think that's fine. Little Richard's not a looker. Sorry,
so
hate to break it to him.
So you think it was like a purely like, I don't want this.
Yeah, I think he was trying to
say
if you're saying I resemble someone who I don't find attractive, it's okay to be like, no, say somebody else handsome.
I think Little Richard was a sex symbol.
No.
Yeah.
No.
At least to a certain population.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to need more insight on that. He was a interesting looking person, not like a handsome looking person.
Yeah, but interesting is I mean attractive.
Interesting what? Can be attractive?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. But there's a whole conversation, right? I think it starts because Naomi's like, Miss is gorgeous.
Julia Roberts is interesting.
It's gorgeous and interesting.
She's interesting.
Okay.
And the
now
fact
we just need everyone's opinions on who looks. She's beautiful.
And that's wonderful. I love that you see that.
I thought everyone saw that. Anyway, moving on. We're not getting anywhere about Diedrich, so we'll just move on to the challenge. No, stop it. People say he's handsome, and I cannot get on board with that.
See, Here's where
But
we
that's
are.
just a whole. You're just bringing that up because you know I don't think he's speaking.
I'm just presenting both those options
Yeah.
to the world.
Yeah, not my type. I don't know. Little Richard and Javier Bardem, not my type. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I do recognize that most people think Javier Bardem is handsome. Just not me. This is one of our favorite challenges.
Oh, I love the challenge. I love the telephone challenge, just because it is the most silly way to bring out frustrations in people.
Right?
Right? Because there's nothing more frustrating than not being able to communicate with someone, and yeah. So to me, it is the most playful way to do that.
And the producers made it so much harder this season. Like they added
Muffly stuff. So they added voice distortion.
Yep.
They added megaphone.
Yep.
They added obstacle course.
Yes.
And they added missing words.
Oh,
at the
they
end.
added that you have to have all of the words. Because last season, or the last 2 seasons, you would just have to like get like tiger, girl, dress, like the bulk of it, and you'd be good. And now they needed every single word.
Yeah, and the things were I guess those were the missing words. So they added a difficulty to every point of the chain of telephone.
It was already hard. I don't
Yeah.
know why we needed to make it harder, but it turned out to be uber funny.
The megaphone would be the hardest one for me. What would be the
I
hardest
guess
one?
that voice modulated seemed really hard though.
It
Like
was-
the first time we heard it, I was like, "Oh my god!"
That was voice modulation cranked up to. There was like.
Yeah, you're like, "Whoa!" I say that again. I did not hear you. So we've got our 2 teams. So Danny and Shane turn out to be our captains. Danny's gonna take Hud, Mackenzie, and Adam. And then Shane is going to take Naomi, Miguel, and Diedrich.
Which seems like the strongest team to me.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
sure.
I don't know. I thought they were pretty even, I thought. But you think Naomi is strong. But I think Adam and Hud are strong.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty well split. So we start with, I think it's the blue team. Adam is going to pull his hammy.
Right off the bat. Just immediately
Immediately.
didn't stretch and.
No, why would you stretch over a silly obstacle course?
And just, yeah.
And he is straight up struggling.
Limping, yeah.
Now we're going to get a lot of fun, hilarious, the voice modulation, but they're going to do okay. Right? Adam's hobbling around because he's wounded, but they're going to take...
And they switch, they do it, they switch him.
Well,
And they
but
put-
for that first one, they got it with like 29 minutes.
Left, yeah, because you
In
have
29
so
minutes.
For this one, you have 1 hour to do 2 limericks.
Yes. So it takes them 29 minutes to do that first one. Then they're going to swap because Adam can't do the obstacle. So they are going to then finish that second one with 7 minutes and 50 seconds left. So like almost 8 minutes left of their hour.
Yeah.
So it seems like they struggle a little bit, but they're going to get it. Cut to the next team, they struggle.
All the way through, and they.
Whoa.
I thought you could only switch after one of the puzzles had been solved.
Yes. That's what they did.
Oh, I thought they switched her in the middle of the puzzle. No, they didn't take Naomi out in the middle of the puzzle.
No, they didn't. Naomi is well, first off, Miguel.
Yeah, that was not on Naomi. That's on Miguel
No, it was also on Naomi.
and on Naomi.
Uh-huh. Miguel, they're like giving us receipts on how Miguel's memory's not good, even though he's like, I've got this.
I've got it 100%. I memerized absolutely everything.
Not one time did it rhyme.
Lion Island.
Yeah. Islanded a girl in a dress and on an island. And you're like, that didn't rhyme. That is in no way a limerick. How is this right?
Did they get a second before they begin? When they go, hey team, limericks go like this. A, B, B, A.
No, you would assume people already know that. No one.
No, but why wouldn't you reiterate it or sync it up? I wouldn't assume everyone knows
No,
limericks
you
go like
wouldn't.
that.
You would get everybody together to do that. But I don't think. Do you think anyone did that? No, I do not.
I don't know. Maybe one team
So
did.
Miguel's going to struggle, but then poor Naomi is just going to throw this in the trash.
But here's what I would say.
Yes.
I would very much struggle to identify Thousand Island dressing on site without a label that says Thousand Island.
I thought that was really hard.
Yeah.
Thousand Island dressing
Because
to be
it's-
island?
Yeah, because it's Thousand Island. Like, if it was 1,000, I'd be more on board with it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, I would
You're-
accept ranch. I do not accept Thousand Island.
You'd accept ranch.
If it was ending with and it took place on a ranch. You know?
Yeah, if it was ranch dressing is great. But if you're thinking island, you're looking for a palm tree, a coconut, like sand, a beach. You're going to pass dressing for a little while before you think, oh, it's Thousand Island.
Yeah, because you're going to be thinking dressing.
And Naomi passed it for like a good 20-something minutes.
Yeah.
So she's going to take up all of their time for one challenge, for that first limerick.
But I really don't put it on her. I think that was really difficult. I think
Yeah, but
it's just a thing. Like, you couldn't figure it out. Yeah.
Danny did it.
Yeah, but it's to the individual. Like, I don't know. I found that one to be really, really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard, but you could figure it out. They both figure it out eventually. But she's going to take up their whole time, and they're going to pretend like they have enough time to do the second one.
Yeah.
They're going to let them switch,
Yeah.
and they don't even get one part of it.
Yeah, because they start that switch with like 4 minutes left, and then, yeah, by the time it happens
Thanks,
once.
Gwen.
Yeah.
No, that was really, really hard. They made this one really hard. Fun to watch, though.
You said the voice modulation would have been the most difficult for you?
Yeah, probably.
The
I mean, the
megaphone would have been the tough one,
megaphone
yeah.
is tough, but that voice seemed to be the hardest.
And it seemed like they had to go over under when it came to the ropes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had to like slide in something. That
Not a
was
slip and
gross.
slide, yeah.
Anyway, Danny's team wins. Obviously, Naomi team is going to lose, meaning Danny is going to get his wine bottle clue, and Shane is going to be in danger. Shane is going to pick a second person.
He has to immediately pick it right then and there.
He wisely put Miguel on his team so that he could have a scapegoat who you know is going to get all the votes to be the guesser.
Do you?
I think you do. That's a pretty safe bet. So he chooses Miguel to be the other potential guesser. All right. Miguel and Naomi are going to touch base because Miguel is like, hey, I'll make a deal with you. You have a wine bottle clue. I'll give you information about me.
Right.
And it was kind of weird, right?
100% weird, because she was like, I mean, her base logic was, I'm not going to trust, based on what you've been
Yeah.
doing so far, I will not trust absolutely anything you say. But then one layer up from that is, why would anyone ever tell their own, why would anybody put their own head on the chopping block? You definitely wouldn't trust that. Or if they did, you'd be like, well, that's, then you'd, if you did actually give me information about yourself,
Yeah.
then you have just made me your biggest target, because now I know things about you.
I don't know. Good on you, Miguel, for trying anything and everything.
But we do get to the understanding that Miguel does not have a bead on anyone in the house.
Right. And I think Naomi handles this well, because like if someone's like, hey, I'll make a deal with you, she kind of tries to laugh it off like it's nothing personal, but like I just wouldn't trust anything. Like, you have really played the game hard, you know, like trying to give him compliments. I thought she handled that well, because ultimately, yeah, I'm not going to make a deal with you. I don't trust you. But yeah, poor Miguel does not have a beat on it. I mean, but who does? Nobody.
Well, I think some people are formulating, or
No.
You don't think so?
I am not seeing any clues that anyone
think
has
that-
anything.
I think that people are doing it with Diedrich. I think people are.
Apparently not. I mean, a couple people are doing it with Diedrich, but not the right people are doing it with Diedrich. Maybe?
Naomi has it.
Yeah.
Like if she was forced up on the block,
Yeah.
she would 100% do Diedrich, and
You should. You should have Diedrich. We should have had that from the day you moved in together, right?
Oh, because of how he looks? Because
Yes.
he looks like
Because of how he looks and how he slipped up and said Mr. Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel is going to go to Mackenzie. He needs someone to help him. He 100% needs someone to help him.
Yeah. So what do you think of Mackenzie's game here?
I mean, it seemed like she was legit, like, he's got nobody. I'll see if I can help him. For one thing, it's not me. If I give him information on someone else, it's not me. Very smart. And also, if for some reason he stays, it looks good on me that I helped him. I think this isn't bad.
And so do you think that David Schwimmer was an actual one that she was kind of like playing with and saying like, well, I could give it to him, then he could try that out. But it is one do you think that she was really thinking about that one?
Yeah, do you not?
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good gameplay. I thought that was her saying like, well, if I was forced to it, I would do this.
Yeah, it
I
seemed...
want him to get up there and try it because then I know.
It seemed from the edit that she was being honest because they show her talking to us in the confessional and they show us with her kind of like doing a little side check with Adam on the side. So in her head, and Kathy, I think, was the one who brought it up last week in the chat that the giraffe could be from Madagascar. I said Zootopia, but I don't know what I'm talking about. She said Madagascar, and that's what Mackenzie was thinking, is that the giraffe is from Madagascar, and that was played by David Schwimmer. And
Which is good logic. It's good thinking.
And there was something else maybe in the limerick that also leaned towards Madagascar. So she's saying Adam is David Schwimmer.
And that's the thing he's known most for, is that right? David Schwimmer is known most for the movie Madagascar?
I didn't even know he was in Madagascar. I was like, what
Do
are
you
you
know him
talking
from
about?
something else?
I do. I know him very well from a show called Friends. A little show.
Did you have an arc on that?
He had a couple arcs on that, actually.
Interesting.
But maybe not everybody's watched it. I definitely was like, are there Friends clues that we're missing? Because I was like, oh my gosh, if I'm missing Friends clues, I would never forgive myself.
And neither would we.
No. And honestly, if the giraffe is Madagascar, I think you pointed this out. Like, why is it Adam?
Right,
Why do you assume it's Adam for David Schwimmer? I don't know. I don't know her whole thinking here, but that's what she's put together, and she does give it to Miguel. He seems open.
Yeah. And she even goes back to him after her conversation with Adam and says, hey, I talked to Adam and he said he tried to say Matthew McConaughey, which makes me think even more, that it's
That's
David Schwimmer.
true,
What
right?
was that Matthew McConaughey move? What do you think
What
that was?
is exactly, like, why, if it wasn't David Schwimmer, isn't your relative, just go, oh, wow, that's interesting.
But and again, this might be giving Adam too much credit, but if someone said, hey, he thinks you're David Schwimmer, and you know that it's 100% not David Schwimmer, and you say, oh, you know what, when you talk to him, tell him that I do a really great Matthew McConaughey impersonation, right? Then you have set up the idea that, I bet you are David Schwimmer, because now you're trying to fool me. But he's double fooling them, because
Right.
he's saying, he's like throwing somebody else out there as if he's trying to get you off his trail. But if you guess Matthew McConaughey or David Schwimmer, both of them would be dead wrong.
I guess so. I guess that works.
And I think based on the things we've been learned from Adam, is that we do not think that he is someone that young.
Right. He keeps saying, if you know older people, you're going to know my relative. I can't imagine that's David Schwimmer.
No, it's Jack Lemmon.
I think people... It could be. That's what he sounds like. He's talking about someone much older than David
singer,
Schwimmer,
though.
who is like very much still performing.
Yeah.
You think he's a singer?
I think he's somebody who can sing, because he said if I sang, you would notice I sound just like my...
Is that Adam? Why
Yeah.
do I think that's HUD? That wasn't HUD?
No, that was Adam. And that's why I think it's Eddie Cantor. Vaudeville star. One of the first people recorded on
You would
film.
know. If it's an old reference, you would know. So
Yeah.
we're going to come to you for Adam's relative.
Okay.
You're going to be the only one who knows
It
him.
would be his great-grandfather, Eddie Cantor.
Danny is going to decide to pick Diedrich's clue out of the wine bottles.
And what do you think about that choice?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you think you know Diedrich,
Do you think
And
Danny
so it's
knew?
like-
Do you think Danny was already on that scent?
I think everyone's talking about Diedrich being a Jackson, and so Danny wanted just confirmation. It's an easy one to have, and I'm not sure that Danny's working closely with Diedrich, so why not get someone that you're not really aligned with?
Yeah. It's great to have a 100%er in your pocket for when you
Yeah.
go up there.
All
We
right.
learned one thing from Simone Biles.
Let's talk about this wine bottle clue. We are going to try to figure it out. These are not technically spoilers, but they could be considered spoilers, so just heads up if this is not information you want. This one was, I would say, harder for us just to fully get, but not the elements.
But the very first element gives the whole thing away for me. And I think somebody in the house, I forget who it was,
Yes.
they say it. They're like, yeah.
The first thing is a scarecrow.
Yeah.
And you say that is?
What the person in the house says, who's the only black scarecrow?
Yeah,
Michael
the Wiz.
Jackson in
Michael
The Wiz.
Jackson played the scarecrow in the Wiz.
Yeah.
Then the next thing you see, it looks like someone walking with the rewind button.
Which could be walking backwards.
Could be walking backwards, which is a very popular thing that Michael Jackson did.
Moonwalking.
Moonwalking, and
He
I think
did not
that's
invent it, though.
Oh yeah, give us your old reference. Who invented it?
I don't know the
Okay,
precise
great.
names. It could have been one
But
of the...
it's somebody older.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. People were doing it a long, long time ago.
So that's what I think Danny picks up on. He's like, I don't have this whole clue, but I know that that's moonwalking. It's Michael Jackson. Now, I was confused because there's like an N plus a joystick minus an L and a plane landing. I think we're trying to get to Neverland.
Neverland.
Not
right.
Never,
Like
Neverland.
the plane is landing.
Yes.
Never.
I can't quite figure that out, but I'm assuming if we're landing, it's Neverland. So again, I couldn't piece it all together, but the items
Is it
are...
a lever?
It's a joystick. Could be a lever.
But I'm trying to
Yeah.
get the Neverland with
Right.
you. So I'm saying if it's a
lever minus L
it would be
is-
Everland.
Plus the N.
And Everland.
Everland.
Yeah, I think it's a lever. Boom.
Boom. There you go.
Just when you said
N plus
you said-
joystick minus L.
yeah, but then you had said Neverland. I was like,
Yeah.
well, what's Ever
Yeah.
minus an L was the lever? Oh, that was the lever.
There you go, guys.
I've now explained it 3 times.
It has to be Michael Jackson. Like,
Yeah.
I think we've been talking about it since episode 1. Is he related to Michael Jackson? Yes, right?
And that is Michael Jackson, Scarecrow, and that.
Yes.
So question
That's
for
not Janet, but he's obviously related to Janet as well.
But the question to the group is this.
To the group.
So that clue is very specifically Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So if someone guessed Janet Jackson, while that person is a celebrity, is there enough of a rule that says no, I'm saying my celebrity is this one person? For example, if that, well, I won't say, but if let's say both of your parents were famous, and you named the other parent.
Right. Well, we had that with the Osmonds,
Mm-hmm.
and we were specifically going for he was Donnie's son, but he's obviously Marie's nephew. So you can't be wrong, but again, it's not like they've laid out that rule for us. We don't know. We're going to find out. If you have enough clues, like Danny does, he'll stand up there and he'll say Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody else has just partially got clues, maybe they say Janet Jackson, but I don't think we're going to have this problem. I think people are going to say Michael Jackson.
Do you think anyone but Naomi and now Danny are locked on Michael Jackson?
Yeah, I think so, especially how this episode ends.
Do you think Adam and Hud are?
Yeah. I think the people who are leaning towards other possibilities, like Adam, I think they're now proved it's not that other possibility. They're going to go back to Michael Jackson.
Naomi share her clue with anyone?
Naomi has not shared her clue with anyone.
Her HUD clue?
But that might change next episode.
That I
per
figured out
the
right away?
Preview.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've never had a person, a relative who's not alive. So I would like to see the whole Jackson family together.
But we have had people who have not been alive who are celebrity relatives, yeah?
Oh yeah, who were they? That's what I just said. Is that we haven't.
No, in seasons past, or has it been somebody who's like?
No, we've had a video and talked about. Although Ronald Reagan didn't do a video, he is alive,
No, he's not.
but barely.
Ronald Reagan's not alive. Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter, I'm so sorry. That other president. Jimmy
Two
Carter.
very different presidents.
Last season, but Jimmy Carter is not. He's got 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't give us a video. So I don't know. Hopefully his dad. His dad is one of the Jacksons. One of the Jackson 5.
Maybe.
I'm
His
assuming.
dad's Jermaine.
Right, he looks like Jermaine.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know for sure.
Maybe Tito.
That's not a spoiler. We have no idea what we're talking about. Half of what we say, we have no idea what we're talking about. Season 1 was Dean Martin. That's right.
There we go.
Thank
you.
you. Douglas thanks you extra hard.
Tommy Mac.
That's right. We didn't have videos, I don't think, season 1.
No.
That came in season 2.
Mm-hmm. They keep this. They're
Diedrich
involved in the
says,
format.
Diedrich says the giraffe is his clue. In a
'Cause I think-
conversation.
Yeah, I
when-
think he's thinking of Neverland Ranch had a bunch of animals on it.
Yeah, but you know what? We don't think.
We think monkey.
We think monkey. We
And
don't
Macaulay
think giraffe.
Culkin. Those are the
I'm
only
not
two animals
convinced
that I think
giraffe
about.
is his clue.
I think, well, two things.
But it could be.
One, I bet there was a giraffe on Neverland Ranch, and I bet that was something famous that we forgot. Also, his he went and opened up Toys R Us for you, which if you remember, Jeffrey Giraffe was the.
We don't know that.
Yes, we do. We know that Jeffrey Giraffe is the famous
That we know.
animated.
That we
character
know.
of
We don't
Toys
know
R
that
Us.
Michael Jackson opened up Toys R Us for his nephews. We didn't know that till this episode. So I'm not convinced about this, but Miguel is talking to Diedrich because those two are actually working together. Let us not forget, those are the only two people in the wolf pack. So Miguel is running some things by Diedrich,
It's the wolf
like
pair.
Adam being related to David Schwimmer, who's the giraffe in Madagascar apparently, and Diedrich's like, "Yo, the giraffe is my clue," and I'm like,
The thing
"Are
is,
we supposed to put a giraffe on Neverland?"
I bet that.
I bet
there
there
was,
was,
a thing.
but that's not what we think about.
But maybe when you're dealing with somebody with such a fantastical life
Yeah.
as Michael Jackson, pretty much every clue is gonna be like,
I know.
upside down car. That's my clue. Whatever it is, like everything's gonna seem like, oh man, that's my clue for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder. Do you guys think the giraffe? A monkey, yes. A giraffe, I'm not sure.
Macaulay Culkin.
So we already talked about Mackenzie testing Adam with the David Schwimmer. He says Macaulay Culkin. So
It says Matthew
I'm
McConaughey.
sorry. What am I doing?
All right.
Macaulay Culkin is nowhere near Matthew McConaughey.
That's my Macaulay McConaughey impersonation. All right.
That is solid.
Yeah?
That is solid. Yeah.
Thank you.
Woo. Okay, Danny gives Miguel the limericks. This is Danny's way of like, I'm going to give you a little something. I'm not giving you the wine bottle clue, that's for sure.
And very well played by Danny because
Right?
he's very explicit about what he's doing. He's like, hey, I'm giving you this. I'm not giving you that.
Yeah.
Best of luck, buddy.
Right. It's all I can do. Want to help you a little bit. Can't you help you completely?
So
That
what do you
sounds
think of
good.
this move? Because I thought this to me,
Yeah.
again, this episode, we're getting a lot of Danny, but I thought this really showed that, like, he's thinking strategically, or at least trying to make strategic moves, whether that was the smartest move or not. He's at least trying to.
No, I think this is good
Because he knows that Miguel's going to be the guesser.
technically everyone heard the limericks, but Danny's the only one who gets to like sit with them and study them. So it's like, I'm going to give you something that you kind of already know, but like here, sit and study them.
He definitely knows them because Miguel has a near phonographic memory. So he already memorized them perfectly. Word
He
for
did.
word.
He said that. He said that for sure. But he's going to sit down with them a little bit more and still figure out nothing. And let's talk about what we took out of the limericks, because like we didn't figure out much from the limericks, but there is a homemade dress.
Yeah.
Y'all, homemade dress.
Which
What movie or TV show has a homemade dress?
Annie? What is it? What's her name in Pretty in Pink?
Is it Annie?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ducky, but I don't
We know
remember.
Ducky, but it's Pretty in Pink. She classic makes her prom dress, birthday dress. What is it?
Prom?
I just said it was classic and I forgot. It's prom.
Yeah, prom, homecoming. School dance.
School dance.
Yeah.
Pretty in Pink. But that's because we know it's Molly Ringwald. No one else knows Molly Ringwald. And they're certainly not picking up on that, or at least we didn't see it in the edit.
Yeah, and, I didn't know, like, Thousand Island, I didn't get anything. Lion, Lion King. I think there was a lion on Neverland Ranch. No.
Probably. Yeah, it was Danny. So when Diedrich and Danny were talking, right? Was it Danny? Somebody was like, yeah.
Oh, right. That's my sister's
I was
godfather.
like, I couldn't follow. It was like my sister's godfather?
So
That's bizarre.
Yeah. Was that Danny?
Was that Danny? I think it was. Yeah, because I remember being like, wait, what was Danny just saying? I love it when they're like so close and they're like, do I know you?
I don't like when they're too close. Like, I'm not sure that I like the John Cryer and Molly Ringwald thing. That's a little too close for me.
I love it.
Anybody seen the Brat Pack documentary yet? We talked about that last time.
No, we gotta watch that. We haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to this guess off because it's going to be a unanimous vote for Miguel. No one's even playing here. They're just like, get Miguel out of this house.
But even his wolf pair.
Yeah.
Member.
Obviously, his Wolfpack duo, buddy, votes for him in. But he says, we see him say, I don't think he's coming for me, the guy that's working with me, so I'm going to vote for Miguel.
Do you think that influenced Miguel's choice? Like, if he's deciding between Diedrich and Adam, right, which are the two people that we've seen him discussing, do you think the fact that it was a unanimous vote is what made him pick Diedrich, because he's just thought, my wolf pack turned against me?
No, I think he was just not being bright. He was fun to watch strategically, but like this just doesn't seem like a bright choice. First off, don't go against the one person that is working with you in the house. That shouldn't have even been an option on the table. Because if you were to survive and stay in the house, you need this person.
And why
do not get them out.
And his main source of information about Little Richard comes from Adam, who's the other person that he potentially has information on to put up. I'm not saying that he would have been correct with Adam.
I don't think he was.
But he would have had that. Why would you listen to that person? Why would you trust that person's?
I don't know why Miguel did what he did, but he is going to choose his buddy, Diedrich. Diedrich is clearly shocked, would not have voted him to go up there had he thought he was in trouble. But he puts Diedrich up there, and instead of going with the obvious thing we've been talking about since episode 1, he pulls out Little Richard.
But it was because of that Little Richard moment in the kitchen with a little bit of a methinks thou dost protest too much,
It's the same thing. Someone says Little Richard, he had a reaction. Someone says David Schwimmer, he had a reaction. They're two different reactions, but it's the same case.
What is the best reaction to have when somebody actually names your person?
You would have to practice that before you go in.
Yeah.
Because I bet you your heart is in your stomach. If someone says your person, you don't know what to do. You're going to panic. You got to be ready to go with oh, that's a funny one. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, that's cute. You got to say something just totally random.
Yeah. What is the closest you can get to? What? Like, how do you create the confusion without it being, what? That's so crazy. Where it's obvious that you're trying to play against it. You'd have to be like,
I don't know, because we went from big, Diedrich's huge reactions too much, Adam's barely anything but hey, here's another name. That didn't work.
That was a weird move.
You really got to be careful with your reactions.
That I think might have been the most brilliant move ever. Because I think Mackenzie is locked into David Schwimmer now. If Mackenzie was put on the block, I think she would call up Adam and say David Schwimmer.
Oh, you think she's locked in now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what we learned is that Diedrich is not related to Little Richard.
Mm-mm.
Didn't see that coming, did we? Shocker, shocker. Well, Miguel didn't see it coming. So he's going to go. And now we're going to get the reveal of Miguel's relative, which I was very excited to get because he's been telling us it's not Latin. He's playing Hispanic to distract people, which I thought was brilliant. And boy, did I not see this coming.
I called this one from the beginning. I think episode 1, I was like, oh, he looks exactly like, So it wasn't a surprise to me. I didn't say it. I didn't say it in a lot of places because I didn't want to spoil it for anyone.
Sure.
But I know it.
Jamie Lee Curtis, you guys.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
What?
Hey, Sarah, what iconic horror franchise is she?
I wasn't sure, but Douglas told me it was Halloween.
Yeah. Well, because you were like, oh, yes, the Friday Clue.
Yep.
Which it was.
But it was Freaky Friday.
Which they're doing a Freaky Friday Part 2 with her in LL.
That's right. That's coming out soon-ish. Right? I saw that previewed. No, I thought the Friday was Friday the 13th series. I thought, oh, yeah, that's her series.
Yeah, Freaky Friday the 13th.
It was not. She's Halloween.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't. There was a knife, apparently, so that's her mother, though. Or, no, that is also her with the Halloween, or the, what's her series?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis is in a horror franchise.
Yes.
So the knife is for that.
Yes.
Because that's is that Jason? Does he have a knife? Who is this?
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers has the knife. But I thought it was her mother, because her mother is the actress in Psycho. Mm-hmm. She's the one who stabbed in the shower.
Yeah, she gets stabbed.
Yeah, she gets stabbed in the shower. So when I see a big knife, I think of her mom, actually.
Uh-huh.
But that's just me. Going on a tangent here, because that's where my head went.
So if he had said Tony Curtis,
yes,
that would have been wrong?
No, I don't think so. Stop putting me in that boat. It can't be wrong. But none of the clues go to Tony Curtis.
JLC question. And her name is L-E-E.
Yes.
But her mom is Janet Leigh, L-E-I-G-H.
Yep.
Is it Lee? Is her middle name Lee because of that?
Yes.
But they spelled it differently because why?
They spelled it differently because you can do whatever you want when you name your children. Jamie Lee Curtis is the daughter of Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh, if nobody knew that.
Oh, yes.
These are all old references. They may not know that. They may only know Jamie Lee Curtis. She's a Nepo baby. Mm-hmm. So that means that Miguel has a whole family that's famous. Like, his grandparents are famous. Mm-hmm. Like, again, this is a whole family. If someone had said Tony Curtis, they're not wrong, but it's just not what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Jamie Lee Curtis is the better guess. She was adorable, but did you guys notice that this wasn't really a video? I think, because all she did was say, I'm Jamie Lee Curtis, and Miguel is my nephew. I think that was from the audition process, because I bet you when they audition and go through casting, they have to get some sort of confirmation.
And some sort of write-off from the person. Right.
So I think that was just her confirmation that that's her nephew, and I don't think she's sent in a video. Did anyone else notice that?
I didn't.
Yeah.
But you very well could be right. And from what he says about her, it sounds like she really is supportive of his family, right. And that his mom is going through some rough times, and that she is helping out. I don't know. I hope that's the case. She sounds like she.
Yeah, it sounds like she's a wonderful aunt. He seemed like he was all like this the whole season, and then as soon as it was revealed, he was like, yeah, that's my aunt. Like, he lightened up talking about her, which was nice to see. And I'm glad that they have a nice, tight family. Yeah,
and I think he, from what we heard in the earlier episodes, I think he really wanted to do this to, like, get money for his family. Like, I think, that was kind of, like, in his mind. So I guess my hope coming out of this is, one, that he has a low-stress situation that he can go into, but that he, finds some sort of satisfying career path that provides him with the stability that he needs.
Well, I think he has a career in reality television, because that boy is slightly unhinged, and that's what's perfect on reality TV. So get him on another show. Not Traitors, but on another show. Just not a strategic one.
Yeah. Don't put him in the BB house. I would not want to see that.
I don't want to see it, but you guys would know a better show. I don't know which show he should be on. Just not a strategic one.
Well, we definitely got a lot more heart at the end of this episode from Miguel. What was his name? Raphael?
Oh, Raphael.
Raphael. Curtis.
Raphael Miguel Curtis.
Raphael Miguel Curtis.
So it looks like next week was when people start to get, or at least Naomi seems suspicious of Adam, or Adam is getting controlling or something. Something going on with that little alliance.
And I think we've learned something about Naomi, which is...
Don't mess with her.
Don't mess with me. Don't cross me. If you threaten me, I'm going to come for you.
Yeah, we got to get some actual information because these people do
So this is the
get it.
fourth not incorrect guess.
Yeah, no, fourth person with like no idea, just completely guessing. No real information here.
The thing that I am interested in the background is Naomi did not figure out Hud's clue.
No, I know. When do we get that juicy bit? Oh, I want her to answer or guess wrong.
She would put Mackenzie up and go and say, because she'd probably guess, like, oh, Mackenzie's this person. Oh, no, Hud. Sorry. Glee.
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
Yeah, if she was like, all right, Hud, I've got you. Let's go. But her and Hud are working together, so I don't think we're going to see it. And then I think it's not even going to become a thing because other people are going to figure out Molly Ringwald. I hope we get to see her, like, be so wrong.
Yeah. I just wish she would have that moment of saying, like, that person is not famous enough.
And also just, like, look at some other clues. Like, but she's thinking Breakfast Club is probably John Cryer. Or not Breakfast Club, but just, like, a Brat Pack adjacent. So she's not going to pick up on Molly Ringwald? I don't know.
Who are you talking about? I'm talking about Naomi.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
You're talking about
slipped
Mackenzie.
over. No, I slipped over to who Naomi is.
Yeah.
Which is not what we were talking about. We were
Naomi
talking about
doesn't.
who Hud is.
So
Hud is Mellencamp.
Yeah. Naomi does not need to figure out the celebrity that she's related to. That's one of the little inside things that these people get. They know going into the game
They already
who
know
they are
their
related to.
relative.
They already know that.
Got it.
They don't have to guess that. Now they can,
I'm
if they
caught
get
up
up
now.
there, they can say, "I don't need anybody on the block. I'm going to guess who
Yeah,
I'm
I guess
related
myself. And then they're gone.
to." That is part of the
That's
rules.
not going to help.
They can do that. No one's done it in 3
No.
seasons, and I don't think we'll see it this season because it would be a poor strategy.
It would not work
Yeah.
out well for you. Okay, anyway, I'm back on the game. Loving this season. Love this episode. Anything else? Thank you guys for watching. Thank you everyone in the chat. If you're joining us later, let us know in the comments who you think is who and what. And is Naomi going to get caught with some other celebrity, not Mellencamp?
And is Structure making those panel shirts again?
Oh yeah, he wants Kevin's shirt.
Because I definitely, that was my high school years, is wearing those big color block panel shirts from a store called Structure. And then the year after that, they came out with like earth tone versions of the same things. And I just bought right into both of those.
We can get you some vintage ones, at least.
I didn't know if it was back.
Can we talk about how great the Jonas Brothers are as hosts?
They're just doing a lot of fun.
They're
I love the
so
hanging up of the
fun.
phone. It's like, guess everybody just hangs up on
Just
me.
hanging up on a Jonas brother. They're so cute during the challenges. They seem like they're just having fun.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're just as shocked at
Yeah.
a relative. I'm thoroughly enjoying them as hosts. I think they're so great.
Yeah, they work really well together.
Uh-oh. Douglas and I do get sarcastic. Yes, that's so true.
Oh, do we?
Okay, and on that note, goodbye.
Bye.
See you next time.